Alex, so as somebody who, is probably making more than all your classmates combined, what's your backstory?
Yeah, so always been involved with computers, online world. I played video games pretty competitively, and at a certain point with the video games, it just became about making money for me. And it was a natural transition from trying to make money playing video games to, stumbling upon self-improvement and then, seeing that infamous best business model video by Iman Gaji, and I was like, okay, well, I can make money doing this, let me try it. And from that point, I just took action on what I learned, and now I'm here.
What made you want to start a business?
Money. Money, money, money. Not because I'm a greedy person. What I strive for is freedom, right? I really don't like the conforms of, school, get a job, you have to do this, you have to wake up at this time, you have to do all that. For me, it was and is still all about freedom and just how can I do what I want to do.
When you came up with this idea that, I want to make money, I want to start a business, I want to chase freedom so I can go on and do whatever I want in life, what was the first thing that you tried, or what were some of the first things that you tried in order to achieve that, and some of the failures that came with that?
Yeah, I mean, we can go all the way back to the point where I was knocking on people's doors asking if they want their car washed with a bucket and a scrub, not even a hose. If we go to serious attempts, the first thing was video games. Yes, it did make money, but not freedom money. Right, $3,000, $4,000 a month isn't the type of money where you can say, I'm not doing school or all these things that, I wanted to do.
And how old were you at this point?
Started playing video games when I was 6 years old. I did a YouTube channel. That was when I was about 9, 10. And then from that point, I was, playing different games. And in every single one of them, I tried to, create content around it, stream. And then it was only in those later games, so Fortnite and Valorant, where I actually competed in tournaments because I was actually good at those games.
Myself and a lot of other people know you as, the guy who's been running appointment setting teams and, setting appointments and, sales and all that kind of stuff. So how did you get into that game?
There's a story. So when I had first gotten, and I mentioned I went down the kind of rabbit hole of creators, I reached out to every single creator that I watched. Right, and I spoke with them, and a few people responded to me. Sat down, spoke with them, and one of them used high-pressure sales tactics and made me rinse all my money into their program. Right, and in that program, I learned a little bit about outreach, but the service delivery wasn't there in that course. Right, it didn't teach you how to run ads or do anything like that. So I thought, well, I just lost all my money. I don't, have time to buy any other education, do all that. What if I just outreach to outreach and find clients and then make my service finding clients for them, right? So it wasn't I came up with a revolutionary idea. It was out of desperation that I, chose to leverage the only skill I know twice.
So then how did you end up getting your first client?
Inbound lead is my first client. So I was posting content at the time, and actually one of my biggest clients to this date was that same person. Inbound lead asked me, if I could be their inbound appointment setter manager, and I said yes, and from that point, scaled up in acquisition there. And then, second, third clients, a lot of those came from honestly mastermind groups, right? Appointment setting is a super valuable kind of skill, and a lot of people want to learn it, especially agencies. So, me being involved in that community and a lot of other communities, just talking about what I do, the things that I'm working on, people wanted to kind of integrate themselves with me and then past that point, learn more about my service. And that led to me working on some pretty questionable commissions, but, taught me a lot.
Going through this stage, from the moment you got rinsed of the last dollar you had to, the position that you're in today where you're able to make decisions from a state of abundance, I know that, and also doing this in a very short period of time at a very young age. Like if you could tell, Alex, maybe an hour before hopping on that sales call that rinsed you of that last dollar you had, what would you say to him?
I wouldn't say anything, right? And that is because, in order to become the person that I am today, I had to go through all those things. But if I had to give advice to, someone like me watching, the two biggest things that I would kind of, ask you to do is just to, really strip down everything that you do to its very basics, right? So when you are going to build an outreach script or you're going to build your routine, critically think about each aspect of it. Think about each component of it. As an example, right? Think about, and I know this is an ongoing joke with us, if meditating is really going to help you send more outreach messages, or if, chanting in the mirror is really going to give you that confidence, and just thinking critically about everything you do, and then making sure that, everything that you consume, everything that you listen to, try to take action on it in some way. If you do that, you're not going to remain stagnant, and I believe as long as you're going in the right general direction, you'll eventually find your stride in whatever you're doing.
Obviously, you and I, we both know people who are 27 years old and have been trying to quote unquote start a business and make the first 10K, 20K a month for 6 years. You've done it in 1 or 2 years at the age of 15 and 16 years old. So how do you start a business?
Just remember that you can reverse engineer things, right? So if you look at, any business model, any business that runs today, in some way, shape, or form, everything that business is built on is taken from somewhere else, right? And understanding that you're never going to really need to innovate in business until you are at the, 200 billion mark, right? Even Elon Musk, Bezos, they're still using old formulas, old textbooks, all these things, because that's how you truly build a business. So what I'd say is you want to look at something. So look at, a position that you want to go in. Let's say you want to become a freelancer. You want to become a high-ticket freelancer. Look at what they do. Look at how they spend their day. Look at how they acquire clients, and break it down over, a lot of data sets into the few key steps that, they do. And because running an agency is really similar to being a freelancer, a lot of agency owners are actually freelancers. The answer is to do outreach, to deliver your service, and to do sales once you get appointments from your outreach. And once you know those 3 things, it becomes really simple. So just breaking it down to the most simple steps possible and then executing on those.
To anybody watching this video, the object of this channel is not to be another one of those guys sharing outreach scripts. Here's how I book a ridiculous amount of meetings in short periods of time, because we know those tactics are outdated, and we know that you are one of 100,000 people watching those videos. And the reason you watch those videos is because you think it's the magic wand that's going to get you the next client, where instead, what we're gonna do through this channel, through this video, and through many more videos that we have in the pipeline is interview and talk to and tell stories and hear the actual things that are working in today's world by people who are actually doing this in the industry, as opposed to me trying to stand up here with a Google Doc telling you guys to send this message 1,500 times. So if that is of any interest to you, consider subscribing. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you, Alex, for your time, and we will see you all in the next video.